Hey, what's up, YouTube? You already know I'm AllCity with AllCityLiveTV.com, and thank you for tuning in. First off, if you enjoyed this video, please consider dropping a like, as likes are directly correlated to the amount of views that you get on a particular video. So please drop a like. Hey, I want to talk about whether or not strength or acceleration matters in NBA 2K21. There's a lot of you guys out there trying to create your builds, and you guys are considering whether or not you should waste points on strength or acceleration, even interior defense and close shot. I want to talk about whether or not these things matter. Should you consider your close shot, your interior defense, your strength, your acceleration? Because this is where a lot of people are kind of sacrificing to get maximum badge points. And I do want to say that you should not chase badges if it does not work within your game. Like, for instance, if you're a 7-footer out there, you should not consider making a build without strength, because there's no way to make up for that strength at 7 feet. You're not gonna have the speed to kind of, accommodate where your strength lacks off. So I want to talk about things like this. Can you make up for certain physicals or certain lacks of attributes in particular areas of your build, and how it has to match your play style? Because you see, the build that I made a scoring machine, which you guys know I dropped a video on my build. It's a 6'7" minimum weight, 7'2" wingspan scoring machine, and it's at the power forward position. Now, I want to tell you guys a little bit about my build. My build has a 95 driving dunk. He has a 95 rebound, a 90 block, a 83 ball handle. He has an 86 3-point shot with 26 shooting badges to accommodate my shooting attributes. Now, when I made this build, I didn't just take me into consideration when making this build. I took the players that I was running with into consideration. There's a lot of you guys that are not fortunate enough to have players to work with, and players that'll help you with your build out there. Understanding, like, for instance, I have a good point guard. Shout out to God Mills, shout out to Travion, shout out to J Music. These guys are great point guards that I know will work well with my type of build out there. But being that a lot of you guys are having trouble running with randoms out there, you may create a whole different build altogether. 6'7" minimum weight at the power forward position. I know that I'm not gonna be a dominant interior defender out there. I didn't make him to dominate interior defense. So this is where you gotta consider the areas and where you want your strength that match your playing style. A lot of people are debating and they're trying to tell you, don't put strength on, don't put acceleration on, don't put interior defense up. And I didn't do those things. I didn't add strength, interior defense, acceleration. I didn't add attributes to any of those things. But I'm approaching 2K21 for the next gen in a whole different way, as you guys can see in the clips behind me. Being that I'm approaching it in this way, I know that I know my strengths, for instance. So in other words, I'm not gonna play like a 7-foot post scorer who's backing people down, and I may very well get backed down myself. But what you guys may need to take into consideration is, where can you make up for your weaknesses? For instance, being that I have a low amount of acceleration and a high amount of playmaking badges, I know that I can make up for my lack of acceleration with badges like downhill, with badges like quick first step, and having both of these on Hall of Fame, even considering the stop and go badge. Ways to make up for my lack of acceleration. If you can't find ways to make up for attributes that you did not actually incorporate into your game, then maybe you should consider adding those attributes like strength, for instance. Being that I lack in strength, I know that I need to have a 3 ball, because if I come across a center Say I'm running the 3 in the park and I come across a center that's just gonna back me down. He's an inside center. He's gonna dominate in the paint. Being that I know I lack in strength, I need to make sure that I'm hitting my shots out there. And that's what you guys need to consider. If you're gonna make a build that lacks in strength, are you going to be able to shoot? In other words, what I'm saying is, if they're gonna dominate you in the paint for 2 points, are you gonna be able to dominate them on the perimeter to score 3 points? So this is what I'm talking about. Working with your team and creating a build that matches your play style and putting a little thought into it. You know what I'm saying? Like, put a little thought into the type of build you're making so that when you know, like, you're going across, consider your weaknesses, man, and consider others' strengths, other players' strengths. If you know you're gonna lack in interior defense, are you gonna be able to make up for it on good offense, perimeter offense, shooting out there, where you gotta force a center to say, all right, you gotta force the opposing team to say, all right, are we gonna let him dominate? Are we gonna let the center continue to dominate that dude in the paint because we're only scoring 2 points? I have a 95 perimeter defense. So if we start shooting, let's say our team starts scoring 3 points consistently, then they know they're gonna have to go out to the perimeter on their next run on offense. They know they're gonna have to take some perimeter shots, which forces me into my strengths again, which is perimeter defense, and takes the opposing team off scoring on the interior. There's some ways to consider approaching your build out there. If you're dominant on the inside, continue to be dominant on the inside. But understand the team that you're running with. You got to make sure that you're able to adjust and go to the perimeter when needed and go toward the interior when needed. My build, being that I made this build with a total of 88 badges, he can work in the inside and he can work on the outside. This is the beauty of the build that I made, and I really enjoy playing with him so far on NBA 2K21 for next gen. I hope you guys found this video helpful and or informative, and if you did, please consider dropping a like. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, as we're gonna have a ton of NBA 2K21 content coming your way. I'll catch you guys on the next video.